Okay, I'm at 817 Main Street in Covington, Kentucky, doing sanitary lateral inspection for, I believe the house, it's already been inspected. They did some cleaning. Apparently there was a little bit of restriction on their access, but we're going to scan the line for any issues. I guess the last inspection couldn't make it all the way to the street, and so we're going to push out as far as we can and see what we can see. Now, mainly what we're looking for is any structural issues. And, they said there's some root intrusion, but root intrusion usually like this. They may not have realized just how. I guess they said they were having trouble getting a large knife through it, so they were having trouble getting through areas to get the roots off. Looks like we have some here at 11 feet. See, most of the tree roots back here were in the rear. Most of the trees are back here in the rear too, and that's where most of this is getting in. The flow line seems to be open, but this will be something that would need to be, regular maintenance be done. You can try to use some root killer on it to see if that will give you any better options. Here's a breakthrough tap there. Hopefully we can get past that. Yeah. We've got a little standoff on the camera here, so I guess the main thing is it doesn't look like there's any structural issues. It's all just basically root intrusion. And so these are all this looks to be getting in right at the connections. See, all these root balls are right at the connections, and so they are, makes it easier to maintain them, either with the chemical like I mentioned, or since there's no structural issues, you're able to just get a I've got, like I said, I've got a ball in the front of this, and so it makes the camera head bigger. But see if I can get this through here. I'm not sure if this is where the other guy couldn't get through or not. See through it, but there's still a lot of roots right here in the flow line. Trying to pop through it. A lot of times I can just pop through it, work on it for a minute. Past it. Does look like there's a little bit of a. Okay, I think I already went through one spot. But then there's this spot that looks like it's. I'm going to turn some water on here in this, because I don't really think I'm getting anywhere. So I'll keep making attempts at it, but line bunching up where I can't get much behind it. Seems like it looks pretty much the same, no matter what I do. So, I'm going to pull back, see what I can do here. I'm probably going to have to maybe go get my larger camera and see if I can poke a hole with that. And so I'm going to pull all the way back out. I'm going to make a switch to that other camera. And hopefully I can get through all this a little bit better. But we were out 60 feet, and should be roughly the same amount when I switch cameras. And so I'm going to pause the video, and hopefully we can get back through it with that. Alright, I've got the big camera hooked up. Here's a little something on the front of it here, but so you won't be able to see as well as the small camera. There's a little scratch on the lens there that just happened. So push out. You can see well enough in some situations, but I'm hoping that I can get out to about 60 feet and then push through the rest of those roots there, as you see. I'm hoping I can push right on through that section so we can at least take a look at the rest of the line. I know that some of the imagery is obscured by that scratch, but it's right around in here, right here. And this is where sometimes with the bigger camera I can pull the hole through it. I think I just did. There we go. But there's a lot more roots out here too. Not sure they went all the way out. I think the last guy couldn't get past some of these spots. I'm poking through it with my camera, but they're still pretty heavy. And since we can't see anything, it kind of makes it tough to to go ahead and pause the video, try to get a locate here, because this is still holding water in this area. You can see looks like it's mostly along the bottom, dimensions. I think I'm going to turn this apart. So I made it past the first couple spots. I made another 10 feet, but I think I'm out in the street. Yeah, I think I can get through this without. I'll keep trying to work it, but am going to go ahead and get a locate, see where we're at, but I should be out in the street by now. So I'm going to pause the video, get a locate, and we'll finish up the inspection. Okay, so it's about 8 foot deep under the sidewalk in between the tree and the retaining wall, as far as how far out we are. But the it's about 8 foot deep. You can see, I mean, I'm trying to poke a hole in it. It just can't go all the way through. This is really heavy. We're almost right underneath that tree in the sidewalk. You can tell by how big the root ball is in the street that just on top of the sidewalk, that the root ball, see how many roots are coming from that tree. You can see I've poked a few holes. I just can't get any further than about 70 feet. So pull back. The hardest part about all this is just getting a decent sized piece of equipment down those little steps. It's a pretty restricted area. And you would think that there it used to have been a walkout, it looks like, in the rear, but it was closed up probably when they put an addition on or something in the rear, and so you don't really have real good access to be able to get anything down here into the basement. And so they're trying to use a small piece of equipment to clean these roots. And here we are back out of the clean out. So yeah, the line's definitely going to need to be cleaned again. I can't get out past about 70 feet now, and you can see at 60 feet was the first time I got stuck, and then at 70 feet that was basically the last of it. I pushed on it for a while to see if we could poke through. I poked through a couple spots, but it's just too thick out there. We're almost directly underneath that tree in the sidewalk, and so, but judging by that root ball on top of the sidewalk, that tree doesn't want to give it up. But the line, all the stuff that I could see, the line looked good structurally. It just needs some maintenance, but it's pretty tough to maintain it. Be able to get down in here. Maybe you could use some root killer and then go back through it and see if it'll soften it up enough to kind of knock this stuff loose. But other than that, it's just it will need to be cleaned again to be able to even get the camera another like 20 feet to get out to the main. So that's going to end the inspection at 817 Main Street in Covington, Kentucky.